Hey, so this feels a little surreal. If you've been here before or if you randomly found this video, hi, it's been a while. Actually, it's been almost 10 years, and I won't over explain that because honestly, life happened and not in this like chaotic sense, like my life was falling apart or anything, although sometimes it did feel like it, but it was more like I'm changing and I don't fully recognize myself yet. And I would record videos and edit them, and then I just wouldn't post them because I felt like I wasn't where I needed to be or showing up as who I wanted to. And I had to realize that is okay. There's space for that. But also, life is just showing up and the rest will figure itself out. So today is less of a comeback and more of a check in. This is me reintroducing myself, not as who I was, but as who I'm still becoming. And if you're in a season where things technically look fine, but internally you feel different, maybe you're curious or you're unsure or you feel pulled in a new direction, this space is definitely for you. Because in all of this, I realized that disappearing doesn't always mean giving up. Sometimes it means you're learning and you're trying and you're unlearning, you're figuring out what fits. And what doesn't anymore, to be honest. And so I spent a long time thinking I needed to come back with this perfect explanation or a clear title or a fully formed identity. But that's not real life. Real life is messy. It's trying things on, it's realizing this version of me doesn't fit anymore. So instead of pretending like I have it all figured out, I wanted to share a few things that the last 10 years has taught me, things I wish I would have understood sooner, things I'm still practicing, and things that completely changed how I show up in my life now, how I show up as a wife, how I parent my children, how I show up even just for myself. So let's get into it. One of the biggest things I learned in the last decade is this: it's okay to try things on for size, careers, creative paths, versions of yourself. It is okay to explore, to change your mind, and it's not failure if none of that sticks. I spent a long time being scared to fully commit to what I wanted because committing meant risking being wrong. And I don't like being wrong. I've had to learn to be okay with being wrong. So I kept going back to things that felt safe, things that made sense on paper, things that didn't challenge my identity or sense of self too much. But safety can quietly turn into stagnation. And eventually, your body physically knows and can feel this disappointment and this disconnect, which honestly has been one of the most interesting areas of exploration for me and areas of self discovery. Learning to listen to my body and what it's actually asking for. It was one of the most powerful things I think I could have done. The unexplained migraines that would take me out for days at a time. None of it was random. It all had a purpose and a meaning. And not everything is tied to a physical cause. A lot of it was connected to mental capacity, to stored stress, to unresolved experiences, and simply outgrowing older versions of myself while discovering new direction and just new paths forward. Which leads me to my second point. And I learned this and I'm still learning it. You have to put yourself first, not in a selfish way, but in a sustainable way. Because when you don't choose yourself intentionally, life will force the choice for you through burnout, through resentment, anxiety, or even exhaustion. And no, the dream isn't dead if you pause, if you take a rest, or if you pivot altogether. It's not dead if you take a detour. It's not dead if things look different now. Sometimes it's just waiting for you to stop abandoning yourself. Another thing I learned, and this one changed a lot for me: health is wealth. Mental health is wealth, but physical health is wealth too. And I'm not talking about Pilates 4 days a week or intense strength training or running your next marathon, which those all have their places and their seasons, but you cannot think your way out of a body that is depleted. Something as simple as walking literally a mile a day, like a mile a day keeps the doctor away. I don't know if y'all have heard that, but it has changed my physical and mental health more than I expected. I'm literally completing my stress cycle every day and it feels amazing. I can talk more about that in another video. Literally blew me away when I learned about how much unresolved stress and trauma we carry in the body. But anyway, I digress. So I say all of this because walking clears your mind, it regulates your nervous system, it creates space for what's next. It doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be 100% every day. Consistency beats intensity every single time. And especially for women, learn your body, your cycle, your hormones, your energy patterns. That is the foundation. It is something I am working on learning and integrating into my plans and my schedule and how I show up in my relationships and even how I parent my girls. Get your blood work done, consult with your physician, understand your rhythms, your energy, your mood, your motivation. None of it is random. And you can't give 100% to your life when your body is running on 50%. Which leads me to the importance of relationships and environments because this all is connected. It's all in the systemic work that I do now. Simply put, your relationships will either expand your life or limit it. Who you lay your head next to, who you spend the most time with, who you take advice from. If you don't have people in your life doing what you want to do, put yourself in rooms where those people exist. Connection matters, community matters, proximity matters. You do not rise alone, no matter how independent you are. And I am a very independent woman. I was raised by strong, independent women, but I also had to learn I need other people. I need connection. We as humans need connection and belonging of some form. And like I said before, it does not matter how independent you are. Here's a hard truth I had to learn: you cannot outperform the dread of a life you hate. You can be wildly successful and wildly unhappy at the same time. I'm going to say that again so it sinks in. You can be wildly successful and wildly unhappy at the same time. So if you feel that pit in your stomach every Sunday night, do not ignore it. Not after this one more year. Please, I beg of you, please don't ignore it. And this one is personal. It's simple, it's short, it's sweet. But your life doesn't start when you get the degree or the job or the relationship or the title. It starts now. Joy is not a reward for future success, it is a requirement. You don't delay living until everything makes sense. And I guess my final takeaway from these last 10 years is this: get good at being honest. And when I say get good at being honest, I don't mean saying whatever comes to your mind or being the tough one. Being honest with yourself about what you want, about what's no longer serving you, about the parts of you you've been avoiding, and getting good at walking away from people, from roles, and from environments before they break you, not waiting for something chaotic to happen or for stress to invade or erode your body, and then using that as a justification for leaving. And that realization, that one honestly brings me to where I am now. Because choosing differently in my own life also changed how I want to show up in this space. So, what's next? Honestly, it's just exploration. I'm calling this year the year of exploration. You're going to see a mix of content of my personal journey, conversations about mental health. I am a therapist in training, to be clear. I have 4 more months until graduation, so we're almost there. And I don't know, it's just bittersweet. But anyway, so mental health, identity, relationships, a lot of what I study and the work that I do is with couples and families. And lastly, growth. How we grow individually, how we navigate the newness, the liminal space. Sometimes it's exciting, but also giving space for the challenge and rest. So some things will land, some things won't. And I've come to know it is what it is. That is okay. I'm finding what fits, what performs well, what I actually enjoy making, and what feels aligned. So if you're here, thank you. Stick around, share feedback, grow with me. This channel isn't about perfection, it's about becoming. And if you're in a season of relearning yourself too, you're not too late, you're right on time, and I'm glad you're here. Until next time.